Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back. It's good to have you. And let's take a look at what I pulled out of the mini metal garage today. So it looks like we got some Ford pickups here, and we're looking specifically at the 1973 through 1979 generation. I actually have quite a few Ford pickups. This is actually just one group of them, so we'll do these today. Every one of these trucks comes from the manufacturer Greenlight. They have an abundance of these castings. So what I have here just represents a mere fraction of what they have. I generally try not to collect all of them in a series because it's just too much, and I generally just have my favorites and I get those. So let's get into it. So this generation of Ford pickup is kind of a landmark generation because it's the generation where the F150 was introduced in 1976 and quickly became America's best-selling truck. And most of the examples I have are from between the 1975 model year up to 1979. So let's start with the one on the turntable. That's a 76 F150 long bed with a matching camper shell. And just in case you were wondering, yes, the camper shell is indeed removable. I have one other one like that. And as I said, these are all by Greenlight. Greenlight makes excellent models, very high quality, usually zero to very little defects that you'll ever find on them. I've only had one Greenlight vehicle be like really supremely defective, and I was able to repair it. So this one's got a nice two-tone scheme that was very popular in the Ford trucks back in those days. They always do a very nice job with the tailgate graphics, the tail lights. Good job on the grill. And I think everyone I have just shows a single exhaust, but I do know you can get a factory dual exhaust on these as an option. And there are a lot of optional engines too. I think I've said this in a prior video. 1976 was the final year of the FE series offering. After that, that went away. But yeah, this was the generation of Ford trucks that really established itself as America's favorite. Let's check out another one. So Ford had a number of packages on their trucks that were quite attractive and also well appointed. So here we have a 1976 F100. So this is not an F150, it's an F100 short bed. This has what's called the Explorer package. And this one you'll notice has got those special tape stripes. There's a body side molding that runs down the length of that little concave indent on the body. I actually wanted to mention something about that concave indent. So enthusiasts of these trucks have taken to calling them the dent side, which is sounds kind of a little brutal. But what they're referring to is that concave pocket character line that runs down the length of the body. And when you would get a higher end package like the Ranger XLT or the Explorer package, that little concave section will be filled in with a very substantial body side molding. This truck also has the optional mag style wheel covers, which were quite popular. And these also came with some very nice interior options, cloth seats, comfort and convenience features. This one's also got little add-on bumper guards on the front, little extra bumper guards there. Very nicely done grill. Get a good look at those little mag style wheel covers. I think they first introduced these wheel covers in either 1971 or 1972 on the previous generation. Came before these guys. That's a very nice little truck. That's actually one of my personal favorites. And another package that they offered back then, now this is a 1977 model we're going to look at. In fact, I think most of these I have up here are 77 models. So this package is called a freewheeling package, and they introduced this, I believe, in the spring of '77. It was a way to kind of, jumpstart sales for the spring season. And the freewheeling option gave you those special tape stripes down the side, those special wheels, and some special interior appointments as well. And this would be an F-150, of course. You'll notice this freewheeling package has got black bumpers. That was an option as well, as you could get. And I really like the way Greenlight did these wheels. They are really sharp. Got the white letter tire. And believe it or not, I think you get the freewheeling option on even a custom, which means you'd have kind of a plain Jane interior, but you'd have a jazzed up exterior. And they also made a freewheeling package, believe it or not, for the E150 van. It was almost like a fresh from the factory starter custom van, if you will. And those are actually pretty nicely appointed. All right, so that's that one. Let me show you another example of a freewheeling package. This is another one of my personal favorites. 77 F150. You'll notice this one has a little extra option. This has got the little bumper guards in the front. That one back there did not have that. Black on black, nice corresponding tape stripes. And like I said, I believe that one was a freewheeling package on a custom. I think this is a freewheeling package like on a Ranger, because I noticed it's got a few extra little, trim pieces. But yeah, I remember when I was growing up in Colorado, and when I was finally got my driver's license and was driving. These Ford trucks were everywhere. They were all over my high school parking lot. A lot of my peers had them. Many people in town had them. And we're talking late 80s, early 90s. And these trucks were so popular in that part of the country that they were actually getting ripped off. People were stealing these trucks. And unfortunately, they were a very easy truck to steal, because I think it wasn't until 1978 they started putting a column-mounted lock cylinder for the ignition. In years prior to that, it was in the dashboard. And so it was very easy to, rip these off, unfortunately, because of that. One of my friends I worked with at my job I had fresh out of high school, he had a really nice highboy, like the ruby red one in the back, and some jerk stole it one night. He was crushed. I don't blame him. So yeah, freewheeling option, that was a nice little option there. And then this one, now, Greenlight has a series called Black Bandit, and that's what this one is. This is in 1975 F100 long bed, most likely a custom due to the lack of trim, in the Black Bandit series. So with the Black Bandit series, you get matte black paint, blackout wheels, and some blackout trim. Looks like they chose to keep the grills and the bumpers like a painted silver, which on a custom would have been appropriate. This one's got a trailer hitch on it, just like that last one did. And you'll notice in 1975, it's got a little different grille. You notice that the headlamp bezel area is round to match the headlights. A little different teeth pattern. This one does have that sliding rear window. That was very popular. And you'll notice there's a little tiny red emblem on the center cap. Now, you probably can barely see it in the camera. By the way, my wife and I haven't talked about the idea of me getting maybe a little better camera than what I've got here. Might be able to see things a lot better. But yeah, that's almost like a little hot rod black going on right there. All right. Now, as I said, the ruby red one you've already seen. I just brought it up here for because it's part of the group and everything. All right, now we're going to look at a couple of the later end of this generation, 1978, 1979. So one of the most noteworthy things you'll notice is that this has rectangular headlamps. Now, believe it or not, in 78 and 79, you could denote a custom from a Ranger by the headlamp style. The custom had a round headlight, whereas, as you can see, this Ranger, or in this case, this one has an Explorer package. It's got the square headlamps. So as I mentioned, I believe 78 was the first year that they had the steering column mounted ignition lock, which made stealing these trucks a little tougher. And they introduced some new interior comfort and convenience options by this point. And this one's got a nice little stripe package on it as well. And yeah, they're just really nice trucks in all. And this was also in an era when manufacturers of pickups are trying to make them have a little bit more of a car-like ride to make them more appealing to, people in suburbia that might want to pick up to use as an alternative to a station wagon or a passenger car. I remember when I was growing up, up north in Pennsylvania, you didn't see a real lot of pickups in Pennsylvania. When I went out to Colorado and Wyoming, oh my gosh, almost every other vehicle on the road was a pickup. And, well, now we live in the era we do now, and it seems like everybody's got one. Yeah, this was a really nice truck. This one has wheels that were similar to the freewheeling package. That was a very popular wheel style. All right. And then this one here I'll show you. This is a 79 F150, and this would have been like a Ranger XLT. Not sure if they had the Lariat package by this year, but I do know one of my friends, he had a F150 that was very similar to this 79 model, and it was, I think it had every option you could get. Power windows, power locks, air conditioning, cruise control. It had the radio that had the factory CB, two-tone paint. Not this color. He had one that was like red and silver. It was actually really sharp, but it had those same wheels on it. And yeah, this would be here a very well-appointed, fairly high-end truck from Ford. And yes, this one also has a removable shell that's color coordinated. I think that's pretty neat. And they look, I think personally, they look better without the shell. But if they come with a color coordinated shell, I display them with the shell because, you know, you can always pull them off and demonstrate it for people how it looks without the shell. And I do like the color scheme on this one. It's kind of like a desert motif with the brown and tan, brown metallic and tan. That was a very popular theme back in the 70s. I seem to remember Lincoln had a Mark IV, I believe it was, that had what was called the Desert Sand Luxury Group. It was a metallic brown and tan. It was very striking. And this Ford pickup looks really good in that same color scheme. This one's got the sliding back window, it looks like, again. So yeah, very popular, very landmark series of pickups from Ford. And I know they are beloved even to this day. And you know, shout out to all you enthusiasts that call them the dent side. That's kind of interesting. And I also found out that the generation of truck that came before this, the 67 through 72, they call those the bump side because the body character line is like a little bump that runs down the length of the truck. And I have some of those to show you in another video. So I have those generations to show you. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to keep them coming, keep the content coming. You guys continue to view it, like it, comment on it, tell me about ones you may have had. And, you know, we'll see you next time. Take care.